here we go again, another weekend, another wee bit of the van. So today what I've decided that I'm going to do, I've got some garden water hose here, that's what I'm using as my water pipes, and I have also got my shurflo water pump. So I'm going to get the tap and the water system running. Hopefully I can get it sealed and everything. I had a lot of problems with my last van, so hopefully this all goes well. So first thing I want to do, I'll take my drawer and everything out to allow me access into where the pump and everything's going at the back of the cupboard, and we'll get it mounted to the wall. So this is the water pump in here. It's extremely well packaged, so much so that I can't burst it open. So I've got a pair of scissors here and try and get into this. I've had it for weeks, I've just never got around to this part of the van. But now that the cooker's working and everything, I really need water so that I can do dishes after I cook. So up until now, anytime I've used the cooker, what I've had to do is take all my dishes into the house, wash them up, bring them back out to the van. It's a bit of a faff. So really need to get my finger out and get this done. Whoops, dropping the attachments here. So here we are. This is the pump I'm using. It is a shurflo Pentair, 12 volt, 4.5 amps, a switch off pressure of 20 psi. It's rubber mounted as well, so it kind of stops the noise if you mount it properly somewhere sensible. Right, now I can only find one of these, so I'm going to have to go through the bubble wrap and try and find the other one. Okay, found the other one. The other one's straight, and one of them's got a 90 bend to it. Now I don't know why this is and why they're not just both exactly the same. There must be a reason for it, but we'll figure it out. I don't know if I've got any instructions, but I have fitted these to previous vans, so I'm just going to do what I do best and wing it. So I don't know if you can see this here. The tap that I'm using is a mixer tap, so we've got the cold and the hot water inlets there. So what I'm going to do, I've got a couple of pieces that I'm going to put together. I've got, oh, let me see this here. So I've got a T-piece here, and then I'll have the hot water pipe and the cold water pipe going into the cold water supply. That way it won't matter sort of what you do with this tap here. It will just run out as cold water. Well, that'll be perfect. This was the only tap that I could find at the time that was going to fold flat and fit inside this cooker unit. There was other taps that were only cold water, but they were kind of bulky, sort of at this part, and they were, although they folded away, they just didn't look as good as this one. So that's why I opted for this tap, even though it's a mixer. Right, so when you're using this type of stuff instead of the food grade stuff, I'll tell you why I'm doing this in a moment. You kind of need to make sure you've got this PTFE seal tape. I don't know if everybody else does this, but this is what I do. It stops any leaks where your Jubilee clips are. It's just these Jubilee clips like that I'm using. And when you make the seal on your connections, sometimes it'll just leak at one part. If you use this tape, it doesn't do that. Now, the reason I'm using type of garden hose instead of food grade quality hose is because previously I used food grade quality hose and ripped it all out to put this stuff in, because the mould build up inside the pipe and on the outside where it sits in the water jug, it was all going black. Now I don't drink the water out my onboard water. I buy bottled water to drink. and even make cups of tea with. So the onboard water, I've not got a big tank, it's just a big bottle. I only use for doing dishes. So I fill the kettle up and I boil it, and that's just for washing dishes. So I don't mind using the garden hose for this. Like I say, the food grade hose that I bought, it didn't seem to last the test of time. So yeah, if you think that this is a mistake, leave a comment on the video. I'd like to see what other people's thoughts are on this. Right, so that there is the pump, and it's mounted on the back wall, as you can see. I've not made my drawer too deep because I didn't want it to make contact, so the drawer just comes up to maybe there, leaving plenty of room for the pipes and the water pump and everything to just sit at the rear of the cabinet there. I've also started off my hoses here. So that's obviously the two hoses that I talked about going into the mixer tap, and then I'll put another one on there straight into the pump, and then we'll have another hose into the actual water tank itself. Right, what I'm going to point out here, because I do this every time I'm fitting a tap, I forget how to wire it up, because the micro switch wires come out, one of them's brown, one of them's black. My mind automatically assumes that the brown's live and the black's not. Well, that is in fact the case, but the live has to go through the brown and down through the black to the pump. So yeah, really I feel like they should have a brown wire and another brown wire identified by maybe a white stripe or just something. So yeah, if anybody else putting in a micro switch tap, the live goes up through the tap, down through the tap again and into the pump. I don't know why it's so difficult for me to comprehend. I think it's just because of the black wire. Anyway, it's all wired up just now. I still have to take the other end of this, put it into my switchboard. I've labelled one of the switches water pressure because it's the only sticker that I had, so that'll be the water pump. So yeah, I'll get that wired into the switchboard, and then before I can test it, I'm going to have to put a drain into my grey water bottle, because that's another stupid thing that I've done before, is I've wired it all up, and with the excitement of getting it all wired up, you just want to test it, and you test it, and of course you've not got any drain in there, it just pours right into the cupboard, which yeah, you don't want. So yeah, I'm gonna, before I wire this up and get too excited and ahead of myself, I'm gonna go and get the drain connected, so that once I'm ready to test it, I'm ready to test it. Right, I've come across yet another problem. So I went and bought, I think I said earlier, so I went and bought these Jubilee clips, and they're fine for the water hose, but my problem here is that the drain pipe is a hell of a lot bigger. I found a Jubilee clip in my shed, too big. It doesn't have enough, as you can see it's kind of like flat bar, only has the threaded part at a section. So again, I'm back away at the hardware store for one Jubilee clip just to put the drain on, but you know what, you live and learn. It would be an absolute nightmare if it wasn't that we had a hardware store in this town, but fortunately I can just nip around the corner and go and get what I need. But yeah, this is the type of headache that everybody building a van comes across. You think you've got everything you need, and then you hit a stumble. So I've hit another stumble, I won't get the Jubilee, and then I'll get the drain fitted. It's just another one of these time delays. You set yourself maybe an hour or so to do a job. By the time you go running about getting everything you need, and then you find out you need more stuff, the 1 hour job takes 2+ hours. But yeah, it's just one of these things. Let's go to the hardware store. Right, I'm back from the hardware store now. It only took about 5 minutes. I got a couple of Jubilees about the right size for the black hose, but when testing the black hose, it's a little bit too short. I was going to make do with it. However, when I went to the hardware store, I just found this like wash machine hose. And so yeah, I can cut I can cut it to length, and I'll not be too tight. I want it to have enough room that it can go around the back of the drawer in the van here. So yeah, hopefully that'll make all the difference, because this black one is basically just what I had left over from the previous build. So it's not very long, and I didn't have any extra in the shed. So yeah, this stuff works perfectly for anybody else that's needing a drainage pipe on the bottom of their sink. So I'm gonna, first of all, I'll take that hose off, I'll get it cut to length. I've also got, on the bottles here, they came with these little adapters. So your cold water pipe can go in there straight through to the bottom of the bottle, and this just acts as enough to stop any splash when you're driving around. Hopefully, we'll see, time will tell. And then obviously there's one for the other one, which I've not tested yet. Just see. I was hoping I could get the end over and Jubilee that end as well, which is why I bought extra Jubilees, but it doesn't look like it. In fact, it seems like a snug fit. So what I'm going to have to do with that one for the waist, I'm just going to cut a wee bit open, because it is like getting wider as it goes down. So cut it open just a bit so that I can get that in, and it might still take a Jubilee because this is quite soft, so it'll just be enough to hold them both a wee bit together. I don't know how that's going to go. It's another one of these sort of trials as you go kind of things. I think this whole build's kind of going like that. I've said before, I'm just winging it, but if you wing it for long enough, then eventually it'll all go right, in theory. Right, so here's the bottom end of the hose as it goes into the bottle. We're just going to have that on one sort of turn, so that it's easy to get off and stay attached. Obviously you don't want any leakage from, well, you don't want any leakage at all, but you certainly don't want your grey leakage going into the cupboard. Fresh water can easily be mopped up. The grey water, I'm sure that would be stinking, but yeah, we'll try and prevent any spillages in the future, that's for sure. Right, I've actually opted to leave this hose the full length. Because the ends are rubberised, it makes it easier for Jubilee clipping it. And although in my last vans I didn't use this stuff, I used that black stuff and it was just plastic ends. I actually can't remember how I did it. I think I PTFE taped it and then just clamped them on and they were fine, but I just think for a better finish we'll leave these on and you get a better sort of clamp on it. Like, as you can see, the Jubilee fits snugly on there, so when you put it onto the waist part it'll just tighten up and be perfect. So I'll do that now. In hindsight, that long hose there, now that I've got it all connected up, it's probably too long, and because the drawer goes in here, I probably am going to have to shorten it, but before I do so, I'm going to test everything works. I'll get this cable connected in the back of this switchboard here, so that'll power up the pump. We'll check the tap, I'll be able to run it into the sink, at least it'll have somewhere to go. But like I say, there's too much hose gathered up, and I think because there'll be a low point, it'll just have dirty water sitting in there, which might cause the smell to come up the sink trap. So yeah, I will amend that, but for now I'll get this wired in, and we'll give it a wee test before I start making everything fit properly and snug. I think I'm going to have to move the gas bottle along and change where the water bottle's sitting at, but I haven't really given that a lot of thought yet, because it was just a case of making sure they fitted in the cupboard. I've not actually thought about the plumbing and the electrical side of it, but we'll tidy everything up, we'll get the drawer back in and it should be fine. Right, I've changed the hose. It's now time for test number 2. I'll get this camera strap out of the way so it doesn't get soaked. There we go. Right, so power on. Still not charged the battery enough, I'm only on 12 volts, but we'll activate the pump, and here goes. That's a bit better. Still got air in it. I'm not feeling any leaks. That's it, that appears to be working fine this time, so no leaks there. Happy days, they would say. Right, let's hope I'll take the plug out now and let's see if we've not got any leaks in the drain pipe. That would be the next thing. So yeah, as it goes into the drain pipe, well, as it goes into the bottle, it's absolutely pissing out. So, that's the next thing I need to address. But at least I've got a running tap, I just need somewhere for it to go now. Right, well anyway, now that I've got the running tap done, what I'm doing today is trying to make up a bed frame. And I've got a couple of ideas for the bed frame. One of which includes using these big runners so that the top section can pull out like that. I mean, these are quite heavy duty. I'm not entirely sure what weight they can hold, but I think they're strong enough. So we'll have one section pulling out, and then when you slide it away, I'll just have a seat cushion on that piece of board. So I'm going to give that a go and see how it pans out, but if it doesn't take the weight, I've got another idea to have a hinged top. So the bed folds over that way and it hinges it, and it will sit on some sort of supports on the kitchen worktop side. So there's two plans there that I need to try. So today we've decided we're just going to put van building aside and we've come down to do a bit of fishing. We're on Riverside Drive at Dundee. We've got aeroplanes coming in as well. I'll let you see that. I actually can't see the screen on this phone because of the sunshine, so I don't know if you saw that or not. It's actually a really nice spot down here. The sun's shining. You can see the railway bridge there as well. So yeah, I've not got anything yet. We've had a few wee nibbles. Hopefully we'll catch something soon. It's usually flounders down here, a couple of wee crabs. But yeah, if I catch something, reel it in, and I'll get that on film too. Right, I'm just doing a wee video. I didn't know if that plane showed up on the last one, but we've had trains going across the railway bridge and planes are doing a loop. I think they're just practicing landing, so we'll get this one as it comes in. So the airport's just along there a wee bit, just past the football pitches there. So that's where they're coming in. I think they're just sort of landing, taking off and sort of practicing, I think. So this is the joys of being fishing with a van. Got the bacon rolls on the go here. Still not caught anything, but I've not caring. I'm actually quite liking just being out here and having the rods out, and yeah, so best to have something to eat before I do catch something, because once I've got something, my hands will be manky with fish. I'm optimistic still. So Connie's first fish. Grandad's just helping get the hook out. But there he is, and we've got one very proud Connie right here. So yeah, we'll get the hook out and then we'll throw him back. So some good times in the van this week. Used it quite a bit. What a difference it's made having running water. So yeah, even being away fishing, taking the dog out, being able to make a cup of tea, what an absolute difference. So there was a wee bit in this video where I tried to make a framework for the bed. It hasn't gone to plan. I didn't film it, ended up ripping the whole lot out. The stuff I was using was compressed, it's not called plywood, I can't really remember what it's called. Chipboard? I suppose it is chipboard, but it's on a massive scale. When you put screws in it, it just seems to splay out. So I'm going to have to get plywood. Like I did my worktop, this wood here, I'll try and get some more of that. Now it's £45, £46 for a sheet. I probably need 2 of them to make the bed frame. So yeah, I'll get that done in one of my next videos. But for now, I'm just happy to be using the van. And although I can't sleep in it as of yet, I mean I could sleep on the floor. Just having the kitchen actually assembled and having everything working it's been great. Anyway, I'll just end this video here. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye for now. A bit of a mix match. No. Wait a minute. Man, why am I so good at this?